welcome to our YouTube channel. This is me, Nicky Sinha, and as I promised to you all, we will be discussing about the different dynasties which were there in Eastern India or different regional dynasties from Unit 3. So today I'm here with discussing a very interesting and a very important dynasty, and that is the Pal Dynasty, right? So I think we have had one lecture where I discussed the major contributions of the Pal Dynasty, which included in the field of education, Buddhist monasteries, in the field of religion as well, temples as well, Sanskritic scholars as well, right? So now we're going to see a little bit about the Pal Dynasty. We will see about the contributions of individual rulers, and from here also you can learn about the chronology of the rulers as well. Okay, so let's start. Okay, first of all, let's see about the origin. So origin, I'm sure you remember from the previous lecture as well. So the dynasty was founded in 750 AD. Who founded it? Gopal. And for how long did they rule? If you all remember from your previous lecture, they ruled for 400 years, from 8th to the 12th centuries, right? This is something I told you in the last lecture on Pala contribution. So who was Gopal? So he was a chieftain, or actually a military general, who was elected as a king by a notable men of the area to prevent anarchy. So let me explain how this works. So I'm sure you understand the concept of Ikta, you understand the concept of Samantwad, you understand the concept of Samantas, right? So who are these people? These are people who are appointed by the king to rule far off areas, to govern far off areas, right? So they're sent to these far off areas. They are asked to govern the land, they're asked to administer the land, they're asked even to extend cultivation, collect revenue from the land, right? And the revenue which they are collecting gets divided into two parts. One part they maintain as their salary, in the sense, suppose the revenue of 5,000 rupees has been collected, then 2,000 they will maintain or they will keep as their salary, because they are also performing a certain duty for the king, right? So they have to be paid. So 2,000 they will keep as their salary, fine. The rest of the 2,000 they will use it for the maintenance of their armed contingent. That was also their role and responsibility, that they had to maintain a small armed contingent of cavalry and of infantry. Why? So that when the king needs it, they could provide it. So they would be using, suppose, the rest 2,000 to maintain the armed forces. Okay, the money which is left, the 1,000 which is left, will actually go back to the king, or it would go to the king's exchequer. Fine. So the problem here is that these people are going to work as long as the king is strong. Now, as soon as there's a decline in a dynasty, or as soon as there is a weak king at the throne, these are the first people who are going to rebel, or who are going to declare themselves independent. Something similar happened in Bengal and Orissa as well. Because of the decline of major dynasties, there was a lot of anarchy, and as a result, Gopal, who was a military general, he was chosen to rule the area so that there was less anarchy. Okay? Alright, so let's talk a little bit about Gopal. So first of all, he is the first king and he is the founder of the dynasty. He was whom? He was the son of Vapyata. He was also a warrior. He was elected by a group of people. And this is something very interesting to know, that he was one of the few rulers who was elected by a group of people, right? He had no hereditary claims, all right? At the time of his death, Pala kingdom included Bengal and most parts of Bihar as well. And he had built the monastery in Odantpuri, Bihar. So please remember his contribution. What has he done? He has built a monastery in Odantpuri in Bihar. All right. let us see the next ruler, and that is Dharampal. Okay. So Dhamal has been contributed with what? He was the one who founded the Vikramshila University in Bhagalpur, Bihar. Okay, what has he done? He has founded the Vikramshila University. That is his major contribution. Now, he had frequent wars with the Pratiharas and the Rashtrakutas. We will be discussing them as well. Don't worry. And it is only after Dharampal, or Dharanpal is actually known for his expansion, for the expansion of the Pal dynasty. It is Dharanpal who has been, who contributed to it. So it is only after his rule that the Palas became a very important kingdom in northern and eastern India. It was during his and after his rule because of his expansionist policies. Now, next we have Devpal. So, he had extended his kingdom to Assam, Odisha and Kamrup. So, after Dharampal, we have Devpal. Now, once the consolidation has been done, or once the initial expansion has been done, now we have Devpal, who is further extending the empire to Assam, Odisha and Kamrup. Okay, he was a Buddhist follower and he had built many monasteries and temples in Magad. It is important to remember the location. Fine. And he also defeated the Rashtrakuta ruler Amogh Varsh. Now, this is his major contribution. You know why? Because the Rashtrakutas were strong, guys. Defeating them was difficult. But yes, we have one person who succeeded in doing that, and that was Devpal. So, he defeated the Rashtrakuta ruler Amogh Varsh. Okay. Lastly, we have Madanpal. So, he did not really make a lot of contribution to the Pal dynasty. He was one of the weak rulers because it is only after him that the Pal dynasty has finally ended and they were replaced by the Sen dynasty. Palas and Senas are something we consider, we study together, isn't it? So, they were replaced by what? They were replaced by the Sen dynasty. Okay? So, it is after him that the Sen dynasty replaced the Palas. Fine. The 18th ruler, so he is what? He is the 18th ruler of the Pal dynasty and generally the last ruler of the Pal dynasty. Now, I have covered the important rulers here, guys. Okay? यहाँ पे मैंने important rulers को cover किया है, only the important ones, because we cannot discuss all the 18 rulers. They don't have a lot of contributions that they have made. But yes, we have whom? We have here Madanpal, who is considered as the last ruler of the Pal dynasty, and it is after this that we will see the rise of the Sen dynasty. Okay. Now here, what are the important things that you must remember? So, it is important for you to remember the chronology of the rulers. Fine. You have to remember the contributions of the rulers. Fine. All right. And very importantly, I think you should remember the various wars that they have fought. Okay. So, wars, and under this only you can remember the expansion that they have done. So, these are the three type of questions which you can get from the regional dynasties, from the information which I am sharing with you for the regional dynasties. Now, I know you would think that why are we discussing this? Is this even important? Yes, it is a very important part of your question paper. If you see the question paper, this is the kind of question you get. You get about the chronology, your contributions that they have made, the wars, the expansion, and yes, you can also get question regarding the titles which they have used. Okay. So, from this, whatever I have taught you right now, you have to remember the chronology, you have to remember the contributions that they have made, you have to remember the wars which they fought, which resulted in expansion, and the titles if they have used any. Okay. So, these are the kind of questions that you can expect. These are the kind of questions which have come in the past. And this particular topic which I have just discussed with you will prepare you for all of these factors, for all of these questions that we have just discussed, all right, particularly from the Pal dynasty. We will be discussing more, all right? Okay. So I really hope that you have understood this topic. I really hope that you have no difficulties here. If you have any difficulties, please feel free to address them in the comment section and I'll be more than happy to help you with it. All right. So till then, please take care. Thank you so much for joining me here. It was an absolute pleasure to have you all. Bye-bye.